the other thing I keep hearing is that this is the bill for this session, but that when you go back into session again, that this whole area may be opened up with more gun legislation. Or is this an agreement that you have that, okay, we're gonna do this and then we're over with, and we're gonna move on to some things? And I know you can't enforce that agreement, but.
There's a handshake agreement among the leaders that there will be no more gun legislation this session.
This session.
Correct.
Which
means all of the other bills that are still out there.
But they can't come up again.
Well, the next wacko in Texas.
Look, Ron, they could come up technically next week if they wanted to. So, yes, I mean, you and I are going to disagree on a lot of things, but we're also going to agree on a lot. And one of the things we agree upon is, yes, there are people who are going to continue, people continue to raise taxes, there's people continue to
Yeah, I know,
spend.
but what I'm looking at is, the expediency of this whole thing. And I'm looking at, Malloy, as somebody who wants to be famous for having the most stringent gun laws in the country. And will he be satisfied with this, or will he just, in the next session, just start whipping everybody and saying, I want more, I want more, I want more?
Well,
And then it's more compromise. And then
obviously,
possibly registration becomes confiscation.
look, obviously he doesn't share with me his plans, right? But I will tell you that if you read what he's put out there, if you read what his task force put out there, and it's a little hypocritical for him to try to separate himself from his task force, right? This is not what he had put forward, and not what his task force had put forward. And for an issue that has received more attention on all sides, whether it's phone calls, emails, public hearings, meetings, to not have the governor's involvement in the room was startling. And we've done budgets, we've done things like, I didn't vote for it, but campaign, restructuring our campaign finance laws, major school reform initiatives, whatever they were, and whether it was Lowell Weicker or John Rowland or Jody Rell or Dan Malloy, they're in the room with the Democrats, sometimes with the Democrats and the Republicans, working it all out. He was never in the room.
That's not surprising.
So, but it's actually shocking because this is a governor who has said to his Democratic colleagues in the legislature, here's what I want to do, and you're going to do it for me. And for the most part, for the first 2 years, they did everything that he asked for. Now, and so I'm only saying that because if he were to say something next year, is that it's not the guarantee that they would do it that they did 2 years ago, but I have no doubt that next session people will introduce bills that
They do every year.
relate to this issue.
This capacity, I'm on the judiciary committee, every year, the third, 3 of them in a row, there's been a high-capacity magazine bill in some shape, way, shape, or form. It died in committee, but they were out there. Registration, this stuff's always popping up.